Welcome in to DragRace Central here on another Saturday morning. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
And I'm your co-host, Landon Shue.
Hey, Landon, it's dark outside.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, this time of morning, I'd hope so.
That's right. Well, we're lucky to have a couple of guys in here today, Mr. Todd Odden and Greg Mize in here. Happy to have you here, guys.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning.
We had talked about, the Southeastern Gassers. When you won the championship, you're going to come back in and visit with us and buy breakfast. Landon, we didn't mention that, did it?
I remembered on the way here.
Okay.
I've got the breakfast. Don't worry. We got that sponsored, I promise.
Sweet. MTO Motors going to go do breakfast for us this morning. It was the executive decision of the day will be where we're going to go. So anyway,
that's going to be that's going to be a big deal. Where are we going to go? We need to start thinking of that quick.
Hey, we don't want that to slip up on us, do we?
Absolutely.
We got choices. We got, of course, got Nicky's. Nicky's is good, and then Ken's Barbecue. Man, Ken's is smoking too.
Those are all good places. I'd just somewhere we can get some sausage, bacon, maybe a little gravy. Old fat boy like me loves to eat.
Well, Greg, you don't like to eat, huh? You don't be quiet.
I can do okay. I can hold my own at the table.
That's good. Landon, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got Huntsville. No, I'm sorry. We got Holly Springs, Mississippi going on right now. It's a big bracket race. I think a $50,000 one. I saw Larry Martin yesterday, and we were up hanging out at Jimmy's, and he was talking about he and Rick Pennington were leaving this morning, or actually leaving yesterday, going to up to Holly Springs, having a 2 or 3 day race up there. Some big money races. Got something going on at Montgomery.
That's right. Called Leftover Nationals.
Oh, the Leftover Nationals.
Junior Dragsters.
Oh, they got Junior Dragsters.
It's I saw an Outlaw 330 class. It pays $300. I'm checking it right now. Outlaw 330 that paid
A whole bunch if you're 12 years old.
a whole bunch.
So when you say Outlaw 330, what's that? 330 foot.
All right, now with the junior dragsters, they start about 7 or 8 years old and go up to 17. But the speeds have got so great. Some of these cars, some of these junior dragsters, I've seen one legitimately run 660 in 8th.
Goodness.
And it's got a rototiller motor on it, kind of. Of course, it's a $10,000 one, but for a one-cylinder. Hey, it kind of makes you feel bad. You got a V8, and I spent a bunch of money until you see you got a one-cylinder that costs $10,000. But then what happens? The speeds are just so great for children that they blocked it off to 330, and these guys are hooning in 330 feet. So
I've seen some cars go, I know, down into the 7s at some of the tracks we've been at. So
they'll run 330 and coast through and run in high 7s idling. So
that's crazy. It's amazing. I mean, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see that young people are interested in the sport and the parents that get out there and help them. And it makes it a family thing, and the family is what it's all about. That's what I enjoy about drag racing.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more than anything is just the family aspect of it,
Hey.
getting to know all your friends and buddies, and it's almost like a soap opera when you go to the races because
It is.
you build all these different relationships, and it's
hey, the guy you fix to run will invite you over for barbecue.
absolutely after the race, but right before the race, you kind of got those throwdown looks going over at each other, but yeah, it's really a fun sport. It really is.
We were at Steel one time and looked up, and there's a big toter home coming in. This thing was, huge toter home, a big stacker trailer, and this is somebody's got a pro mod car in this thing. So anyway, this thing come in, parked, and we got through what we were doing. I walked over, and a junior dragster came out, and I kept looking around. Where's the race car? They said that's it. There's a junior dragster. This thing's 100 feet long.
That's what you call going in style.
Pawpaw don't mind spending the money on the grandchild. Of course, I think they had a pro mod car too, but they just it looks like a pickup truck and a flat trailer would cover it on the junior dragster.
That's serious business now.
Yes, it is. Hey, I tell you what, we're going to talk about somebody who brought us here today, MTO Motors. We'll start with MTO. You know something about that place, don't you?
I do. We've it's our family's own this dealership. We've been there. I'm working into my 33rd year right now.
You're getting old.
Yeah, I know I am. But it's been really good. we've had a really good business and love serving that area, that community. We do all in-house financing. We've just been really, really blessed to have good business with good customers, and we're able to help people get cars that need good transportation. And we just continue to be there and continue serving the area and serving all vehicle needs. We do carry a few motorcycles along the way if anybody's interested in a motorcycle.
Didn't you say you had like 60-something motorcycles?
No, right now we're down to we're down a little bit short because of the time of the year. We're down in the numbers down into the teens, but we do carry a nice selection though. So.
Oh, I only got 19, right? So.
But at certain times of year we'll get up more than that. But we normally keep over 300 cars and trucks in stock.
Wow.
So. It's like I say, it's been good to me, and it enables me to give back to an industry and a community that's been good to me also and good to my family.
Oh, yeah.
And plus it pays the bills and lets us drag race, and that's what it's all about.
The fun part, if you had to pick up aluminum cans, you still got to pay your bills.
Absolutely.
The fun part is now, Greg. You and I worked together years ago, and we've just kind of made a real acquaintance the last few days. But you say you're teaching.
I am. I teach at Hueytown High School. I teach the automotive program.
Which I was at Tarrant for several years.
Right.
That's an experience, isn't it?
It is. It's a whole new ball game for me after being in dealership life and having my own business for 18 years.
Yeah.
To step back, and I'm not saying step back, step up and teach. It's
sure.
It's rewarding. I will say that, and I've enjoyed it so far.
How long have you been doing it?
This is my second year.
Okay. The neatest thing I saw with teaching, when the light comes on in the kid's eyes, and all of a sudden, ooh, that's what that meant.
Yeah.
That is an aha moment.
It is. That's when it sticks.
Yeah.
That's when you hit one over the fence, when you see them all of a sudden just lean back and smile.
I had a kid pulling transmission out of his car. So remember the old ball joints, you hit on the little pad there and then drop
Absolutely.
it. Take your bowl. Anyway, he took his thing loose, and I told him, I said, Michael, there's a little pad. He hit that pad with a hammer, and that ball joint would just come out. Or there's a tool. And I said, but this is the right way to do it. So he's tapping on the thing, tapping.
No, you got to hit it.
I said, let me show you something. I tried to knock the car off the rack. He said, oh, my gosh, I've never seen anything hit that hard. I said, when I say hit it hard, I said, you can't hurt it. Oh.
I tell you what I appreciate about what you guys have done in teaching kids is just the fact that people can't realize what a leg up they've got just when they can check their oil, just when they can
change a flat.
I mean, know what a starter is, know what an alternator is. It's just amazing to see anyone that can actually know what a car does and how it operates. It's amazing at what a leg up they have on the rest of society.
Yes, and Landon now, being my boy, he's had my own business for many years, and we got to a point where a car came in with a noise. He said, "What's that, Daddy?" I tell him, and he said, "Well, how much that cost to fix?" About $300. So then it got to a point where we ride down the road. Hey, Daddy, hear that noise? How much that cost? Mm-hmm. So I said, well, that noise, it could be $50 or $600 because it's the same noise. He said, really? How do you know?
Yeah, well, when you work in the car industry, those noises, they become a dollar sign. So it's super important to know because you can spend so much money guessing.
Oh, man. And, guess and report is not a good deal.
No.
Now
it's all go by and get it hooked up to the machine, and the machine will tell you what it costs to repair.
Greg, I want one. Hook my car to that machine and tell me what's wrong with it.
The magic box, the crystal ball.
Boy, if I had one of them machines.
Just talking about with the kids and everything, we talk. I guess we just talk cars all the time. All of us do.
Sure.
But, I'll come home at night and we're sitting at the dinner table talking, and I really believe my wife could fix a car just from pure osmosis of listening to the conversations.
Well, at least having a clue what's wrong. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I used to tell my students, most of you won't be mechanics. That's okay, but every one of you are going to drive.
Exactly.
Every one of you are going to have a flat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember taking a tire and throwing it on a rim? Just take it and just throw it, pop it on the rim on the first side.
Right.
I had big old football players in there. I said, all right, boys, I'm going to show you how to do something. You throw a tire on that first side and put it on. All right, now you try it. It'd be big, about 240 pounds. Couldn't do it. I said, boy, come on now. Let me show you how to do that.
You got to hold your mouth right.
And I tell them it's all technique. I know you're strong enough. It's all technique.
Exactly.
And finally, you get one of them could do it. The other working himself there because the old guy could do it without even a struggle. That was the look on their face is just special. We got, Todd, Southeastern Gassers is what you run. You were the champion in the D gas. Now one of the things that we don't want to go over, ABCD and all the gassers. What does that actually mean?
Okay, what we run is D gas, and what that is 10 pounds per cubic inch of engine. And the simple way I always try to explain it is if you've got a 350-inch small block engine, then your car has to weigh 3,500 pounds, and that is a heavy, heavy race car.
Yeah.
And then we have a designation called C gas. C gas is 8 pounds per cubic inch.
So if you go on a diet, so
Right,
if you don't have breakfast this morning, you can no.
No.
But that's a big breakfast.
Right. And then there's the final designation in the series we run is called A gas.
So there's not a B?
There's not a B currently.
Okay.
There's only these three currently, and A gas is 6 pounds per cubic inch.
So these cars are going to run way in the fives.
Yeah, they run down in the 560s, 70s.
Okay.
That's a normal time for those cars. Maybe a little slower than that. It's still good competition.
But you got to keep in mind that's shifting 4 gears too.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's
Not
and
just
these
pushing the button.
Right. These are all 4-speed cars, and they operate off of the 1967 NHRA rule book, and you want everything to be period correct. You want it to be, except for your safety equipment. Of course, your safety equipment is all current, up-to-date stuff.
Yeah, because this is bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't want 1967 seat belts, but
Those turtle hat helmets.
Right.
I don't think so. Remember Grumpy Jenkins having a helmet on with his cigar sticking out.
Absolutely.
You probably don't need to smoke while you're driving.
But anyway, it is a super, super neat thing for the cars to look period correct and nostalgic.
Okay. Well, look, Todd, I hear some music in the background. We're going to go out and take our first break of the morning. 941-1011 is our number here on this Drag Race Central, Superstation 101.
Welcome back in DragRace Central. Now, look, I can start to see it's getting brighter outside at least.
Well, on the way, hey guys, on the way, we leave the house in the morning, and from our house to the freeway is what, 5 or 6 miles? Whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
about.
We got past. Landon's driving. He drives right. Anyway, we got past on the way this morning. Of course, we got on up there, and the guy had pulled over and got him some gas. But anyway, he got past, and then another car followed us. Generally,
And we passed a car as well. So
Okay.
we saw 3 cars for the interstate.
generally 1 to 3 cars is all we see on the way to the freeway. So we got past this morning, and another guy following us. So,
Yeah, and we actually passed a car.
of course, there's I think
Pretty
isn't there
busy
some kind of
day.
sporting event today.
The Iron Bowl.
I hear something. I'm not sure what it is.
Iron Bowl is some sort.
Yeah,
don't know.
I do believe there's a few good football games today.
It might be.
It's a rivalry Saturday.
That's great. That's good. We do cars, but I'm glad that the Alabama and Auburn deal is so big.
It is, and it's funny when you go out of state to race these races like we do. You see other states, like I have a bunch of friends who are Clemson fans,
Uh-huh.
and they play South Carolina today.
Yeah.
I have friends who are Ohio State fans, and they play Michigan today. I mean, it's serious business,
You
I
will
got
not hear about that on the news, though.
I got a,
Alabama, Auburn's all people who are playing today.
Well, yeah, here
I
especially. Yeah.
got a call one Sunday afternoon. My buddy with Record Service, we're going to do his ad, a shoe towing. He called me. He says, "Hey, got you a call. Okay, where are we going?" He said, "You going to South Carolina?" It's 4:30 on Sunday. Okay, so went over. It's a Pinnacle. Anyway, 280 and 459. Anyway, picked this car up. When I got off the freeway, Clemson to the left, his lady's house is to the right. I got up there, unloaded. Spent a total of 3 minutes at her house, unloaded the car, drove back to Birmingham. Boy, it's a long ride. I got
That's a
home about
pull.
3 in the morning. Good Lord. Those are fun. We'll talk about shoe towing recovery. They're out in the Mount Olive area, 6310910. All kind of what all they do, Landon?
Wrecker service. They do towing towing, accident recovery.
Moving buildings.
Storage buildings. They now have a thing where they can move larger things, such as RVs and
Yeah. Hey,
buses.
we talked to the redneck involuntary evictions, but I can't get him in. I can't get him into that. It's where you go and throw their junk out on the road. Speaking of that, I saw one of those students over at. My mom was in Grandview Hospital. Saw one of those students over there. He went through nursing school, and anyway, while he's in school, he did Fannie Mae cleanouts when a house was foreclosed on. He'd go and clean it out. So one morning he went to the he got an address. They texted him. They went to the address. He said he got there. He said I got good at picking locks. I picked the lock, went right on in, and he said, "Man, these people's four-wheeler's still there." Looked on there. He said they just had breakfast. He got looked around in there, and he said he had a crew with him, a Mexican crew with him, helping him. And he said when they went in one of these houses, anything that's left, they get to keep. He said, "Man, these people's clothes in the closet, man, this is awesome." And then the police drive up. It was the wrong address.
Oh, no.
He said first thing that happened, his Mexican crew busted out the back door and hit the woods. So he's standing in the front yard. He said, "Look, this is where I'm supposed to be."
Oh, good.
Man.
That's a bad day.
That is. Could you imagine being the guy in the bed laying there waking up and somebody's kicking your door?
Well, what's that noise?
Yeah, he's polite about it. He even picked it. Didn't hurt
That's
anything.
right. He said, "Man, there's a four-wheeler. I want that one." But anyway, they had to wait till all the owners got back home, and my buddy, the kid's boss, got there. "Look, I fixed in the wrong address." Man, you ain't having a good day at all. But anyway, the number out at Shoe Towing Recovery is 631-0910. All right, getting back to the southeastern gassers, we talked about the A, C, and D gassers. Continue on with that.
Well, what I was saying is, operate off the 1967 NHRA rule book, and a lot of what goes on is just trying to keep these cars period correct, and so that when the fans come into the pits, and they are welcome into the pits. I mean, we try to let the little kids get in the car and sit down and try to keep people interested in it, and all the families are welcome to come out of the stands, walk through the pits, come by and sit down and have a drink with us, and a water, a Coke, and a sandwich. Everybody's just real welcoming, and it's like what we were talking about a minute ago. All the families get to know each other, and this last year we ran a 10-race schedule, and you could drop one race, of course, and keep your best 9. I think this year they're possibly going to have as many as maybe 12 to 15 races. I don't know. The Quayne Stott, who is the founder of Southeast Gassers,
old pro mod racer,
absolutely.
Wasn't he in Carolinas?
And he was a world champion, and also his brother Mitch Stott was a world champion also.
Yeah. So they were spending double a whole bunch of money.
Absolutely. They know what it's like to go fast, and Quayne will be the first one to tell you that these gassers are a lot harder to drive than that Pro Mod car. Actually, I saw a picture of his old Pro Mod car, and on the window it doesn't say driver, it says rider. Because he said basically you're just into
point and shoot,
and push a few buttons, and that's what that's kind of got to now. Is the cars are so fast that they even have a mechanism now that will pull the chute if you can't get to it quick enough.
Well, your grid,
right?
In a certain amount of time, that it'll actually shut the throttle down.
Absolutely.
So if things go bad, it'll shut the throttle down just in case.
But these gassers we're building and running now with the Southeast Gasser Association are all, I mean, it's hands on. You've got to drive this car. Everything is stick shift. It's ladder bars, naturally aspirated. There's no fuel injection. There's no
electronics.
No electronics.
What about mechanical
whatsoever.
injection?
You can have mechanical injection, and in fact, you get 200 pounds off the weight of your car if you run mechanical injection. Okay. But there's only a few cars running mechanical injection right now. We're strongly considering it at this point because you can run more cubic inches.
Oh yeah.
So. Like I say, it's weight per cubic inch. So if you're 10 pounds per cubic inch, and you get a 200-pound weight, that means you can go up 20 cubic inches.
Sure.
So 20 cubic inches is a lot.
1.3 or 4 horsepower per cubic inch.
Correct.
It's pretty good.
Correct.
Because we probably won't make more than that because use What type of cylinder head you use?
Everything has to be a 23-degree cylinder head.
Is aluminum?
You can use aluminum, but it has to be painted. And if there's any insignia on the end of the head, it has to be bondoed or puttied in. So that you, like airflow research, you can't see that stenciled in across the head. They have to be painted, even down to the point that, like if you have a correct shaped aluminum radiator, you have to paint it black so it looks period correct. They don't want, when you open the hood of the car, to see modern technology. They want it to look like a gasser from the 60s.
Sure.
And
they're straight axle.
Right. They're all straight axle, and it gives it that fan appeal, Nothing, even down to the letters on the side of the car, they can't be vinyl decals. They have to be hand painted, hand
no
lettered.
airbrush.
No airbrush.
Yeah.
It's serious business.
So it'd be gold leaf and
That's just the coolest stuff to see the turned gold leaf. Where
yeah.
all the letters have the little swirl to them. And
it's somebody's personality went into actually drawing what's out of the car.
Absolutely. Even down to the point you have to have low back bucket seats in the car, and it has to have 2 seats. It's just
Well, I saw you take your son in one of your videos. Your son was in there.
That was
you like it? He said, "Oh yeah, I like that."
that's absolutely that's one of the most fun times I've ever had, is just seeing his facial expression when I took him down the track.
And you took him a real pass down the track too.
I took him a real pass. I mean, I left about 6,500, and I shifted somewhere around 7,500. But
and what did Mama say?
Oh, she's perfectly fine with it. When we first started this, she had not ever really been around the drag racing scene a whole lot, and she was a little cautious, maybe. Even
that's her job,
Sure.
That's okay.
But now she's my backup girl. She's putting me in the groove. She actually helped us win a race in South Carolina because she noticed I was about a foot out of the groove, and she stopped me from staging, backed me off, and straightened me up. So. With this degas car, it's a little more forgiving, so her job has been a little easier. But we're in the process of building a faster car now, an A-gas car, and I talked with her for a good while last night. I told her, I said, your job's fixing to pick up because we're going to do a true funny car burnout. We'll burn through the staging beams, and at that point, she's going to have to step out in front of the car and start really backing me up and
keeping it in the tracks.
Yeah, and keeping it in the tracks, exactly. So,
Well, you mentioned backup girl when Deidre called in. Of course, she'll be calling to hear the Deidre report here at at 7:30 hour. But she said at the Halloween they had a little Halloween race, and she suggested my costume should be Landon's backup girl.
Oh my!
No,
that's burned into my. I can't even think about it.
Landon, I tell you, please, Daddy, don't do that.
Yeah,
please don't do that.
Yeah, Randall, please don't do that.
Hey, I was going to mention we're about to go to our. I know we're going to our break here in just a minute. I was going to mention Perfect Reflections Body Shop.
One of the few body shops around that still do a full paint job.
That's right.
Yeah, most of the guys got where crash repairs all they do.
Yeah, they only want to spot a car and blend a car. It is rare to see a good full paint job anymore, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, and he does show quality stuff, so it's pretty neat. Give him a phone number out there.
Perfect Reflections Body Shop's at 205-841-1034.
Out there on Black Creek Road in Fultondale.
That's right.
I hear some music in the background.
That's right. Hey, how about you give them our phone number?
Oh, yeah, 941-1011 is the number if you want to call, talk to Landon. There's some other couple of guys here, too.
Yeah, there's some other people.
That's right. All right, we'll be right back here on Superstation 101, Drag Race Central. Welcome back in to Drag Race Central. Landon, I see that it's getting almost daylight outside.
Oh, yeah. Hey, now.
Going to be another pretty day for drag racing.
This song that was just on, that's a debatable topic, what he said, that money can't buy happiness.
It can buy me a truck and a boat to pull it.
It can buy me a nice motor, a nice car, everything that makes me happy. So
no, it's just a tool. You got to be happy on top of that.
Well, they make me happy, so.
Oh yeah.
Well, they can buy the things that make me happy. That's what it is.
Well, I saw on the internet a guy won the lottery. He was not even. He wasn't looking good. He won the lottery, and you know what? He found the girl of his dreams.
It's amazing.
That's right.
Just pure luck.
It's got to be. It was inevitable. God, Todd and Greg here with us this morning. Guys, I'm happy y'all here. And, it's amazing how fast this thing goes. 941-1011 if you want to talk about some old gasser racing. We got some guys in here, and you won the championship. We talked about the 10 race series. You got to drop one. So
Hey, now you did it again. You said gasser racing. It's nostalgia racing.
No, it's gasser. It
This
is
is
actually gasser racing.
You
Yeah,
have
it's
been
a-
you've been corrected. I was corrected
I've been
like
double
900
corrected.
times. I finally figured it out.
There are tracks that put on nostalgia races, which are pretty much just any older car, and that's really cool too. But what we do here is called it is strictly gasser racing. It's
Straight
all-
axle.
So it's all straight axle, period correct, 4-speed. You know.
Did you ever get in that shimmy? Remember the little death waddle?
Oh my gosh, we fought that for the first 5 races this year.
If you never had the death wobble, oh my
murder.
goodness.
It is. In fact, it was so bad. The first race was Montgomery, Alabama this year. It was so bad that the promoter came over and said, "Hey, I think your wheel's about to fall off." We went back to the pits, went through everything, and we ended up having to put a steering stabilizer on it. But we've got that taken care of. But if you look, there'll be 7 or 8, 10 cars at each of these events that you'll see that you'll get a little bit of wobble when they come off the line, but they come off the line with the wheels a foot or a foot and a half in the air, which is another cool thing about this racing, you know.
I actually saw John Force in his funny car get the death wobble.
It's
just with a straight axle type front end, there's not a whole lot of suspension. The geometry, it's not like you have movable geometry. It's
No,
you welded that rascal.
That's right. When you have to start dragging out caster shims to get rid of a wobble, you got your work cut out for you.
And it feels like you're going from left lock to right lock on the steering 8 or 10 times a second. It's what it feels like. You don't know where to give it gas or touch the brakes.
Yeah, it's it can be a disaster, but we were able to get through that, and I went back and watched the video of the first race from Montgomery, and it's amazing how we progressed as the year went on. This was our first year to run this series, and it was a learning experience. I was just lucky to have my dad there, who was an old competition modified racer, and
that helps, don't it?
Oh, absolutely, because there'll be so many times that even as smart as Greg is and as smart as I am about cars, he would say, "Hey guys, that's not how this is going to work. It's going to end up like this." And sure enough, a lot of times it does end up that way. My dad was a really smart guy.
And you look over, man, where'd that come from?
Absolutely. And as the year went on, we realized the engine that I built, which was a super fast engine, it had cracked a cylinder after the first race or two. And we ended up in a quick hurry. I had to do some thinking and remembered that a guy I went to school up in Southside, Gadsden, Alabama. His dad was an old super stock racer, Wendell Vinson. And
I know the name.
Yeah, I called Wendell and asked him would he possibly be able to help us with a new engine. And, of course, he'd been building all these guys' round track engines, or crate motors, and all these super late models. And, he's got 15 or 20 high-dollar engines laying in the floor, but when I went up there and we started talking drag racing, you could just see the spark come into his eyes.
Wow.
Because this was right up his alley, because he ran a 69 Camaro that's 277 cubic inch engine in a 3,600-pound car.
That's those guys that leave about 10,000.
Absolutely.
Doug Nash 5-speed and 650 gears. They'd be about the third gear before the front wheels touch the ground.
Mr. Vincent actually told me he had a 714 gear in this car. 714 with a Doug Nash 5-speed.
I can remember when me and Todd were kids, we would be up at Bayleton. When I say kids, we were 16, 17 years old. We would be at Bayleton, and we would get off at about a 45-degree angle to Wendell's car just so that we could see his tack but not be directly behind the car. And he must have been running a 75-pound flywheel in that thing. And he would rev it up.
Hey, you take forever for it to come back down.
And finally, he would just stand on it, and that car would launch at 8,000-plus RPMs.
Oh, yeah.
And we walked around, was looking at it, and you know how, like your super light wheels and everything, they've got 10 holes. Those wheels come with 2 bolt patterns. Well, Wendell's got 10 5/8 lug nuts in each one of those holes. And on a Dana 60, so it was built for kill.
Oh yeah, Dwight or Glenn Hauser had one of those things, and Paul Contorno, they had 270-inch. Spinning out of the frame, sidestep the clutch, see what'll happen.
Well, you talked about Rick Pennington just now. Rick and Ricky they're considering building a gasser right now and racing with the Southeast Gasser Association, because the appeal of this is the all heads up format. You know,
It's fan friendly.
That's right, and it's the only one that we can find that is a true heads up. There are other organizations out there that are doing nostalgia and what they call gasser racing, nostalgia racing, but they're operating off of indexes and their classes. It's more of a bracket style format, which is still cool and still nice.
It's a lot less expensive too.
It is, because you can run some automatic cars and you can have some newer technology, and they'll let you pass with stuff like that. But this group that we run with, the Southeast Gassers, it's super strict, and I mean he goes through the pits, and even the people in the pits, all the fans will report back to him if they see like a odometer tack. I mean, they'll be like, "That's not legal," and they'll go tell him, and people will get scolded for it. So it's close to the vest type racing, so that there's a gray area you can operate in, but you're not going to get away with much out there, because each of those guys they're policing the sport. Every racer is serious about it.
Well, that's good.
They'll come back and say, "Well, I don't remember those cars having sideways mounted carburetors on them back in the '60s."
Well, I've got a drill and a tap. I put them that way I want them.
Well, now the rule is they have to be in line if you have two carburetors. So it gets really serious. But yeah, we did win the DGAS World Championship, and some people say, well, how do you call it a World Championship? Well, it's like the
in
founder,
my world, I'm fast.
Absolutely. It's like the founder, Quayne Stott, said. He said, anybody in the world can compete in this organization.
Yes.
Even though it's based out of the Southeast, we race in the Indiana, Kentucky, and it's going to keep growing. And like I say, as they add races, absolutely a lot of traveling. But we're trying to get another race here in Alabama right now. We have Montgomery already on the schedule, and we're trying to get another race. We're hoping to get one more added to it. And I believe we're about 80% for sure right now that next race is going to be added in the Alabama area. So
that's great. Our friend Alan Faulkner, who was on there with you, he's got this front engine dragster, and Alan's a wizard. He's a fabricator and a half. I took Landon up to his shop. Landon looked over that thing and said, not me.
I love the front engine dragsters.
He's got a nice piece.
Yes, I think those are just so cool.
A supercharged small block.
He's a fascinating guy. He came out to the shop after he was on the radio show last time, and we talked. Just like-minded people. It's amazing how smooth you feel like you've just known him forever.
Oh yeah.
And he's a super intelligent guy and fun to be around, fun to talk to. Just what you'd say, my kind of guy.
Oh yeah, we were just car guys.
Right.
941-1011 if you want to talk about some gasser racing. Here we are at getting 6:43 in the morning on a beautiful kind of, it's almost daylight. Landon, tell us somebody else brought us here.
We got Shaw Building Supplies located there on in Mount Olive.
Booming metropolis of Mount Olive.
It's not a metropolis.
It is.
No. Mount Olive located.
It's down past the cemetery and the fire department on the right.
Where Jim Bob had that wreck.
Back in the 40s, you remember that?
Yeah.
Those are real directions. Now, there on Mount Olive Road, what's the phone number down there?
Shaw Building Supplies. You got 631-8696. Hey, now look, you go out there and get plenty of building supplies.
And counterintelligence.
Build you a deck, all stuff. Because you're going to have things to do. And you can't really go out racing much now since it's going to be cold. So, at least can get those things.
Get the honeydews done while you can.
Get them over with.
And that way you go back to racing in the summertime.
Get some of them over with.
Todd, all the honeydews at my house, I do it myself. I don't have anybody tell me that I need to be doing something.
Wow. That's I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have my wife to help me and my little boy. I guarantee
just think all the things you'd be right about.
Oh, well, that's true.
If a man is standing in the woods by himself, is he still wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the answer. Especially if she's listening.
Yeah, that's it. Now, Deidre, I wasn't talking to you. Poor Jason. No, anyway. Yeah, we'll have the Deidre report coming up here in just a little while. But anyway, getting back, we hope to have some races here in Alabama. Another race, because I guess Montgomery is still on the schedule.
Montgomery is still on the schedule,
now,
as far as I know. They've not actually booked the date yet.
Okay.
They're working that out right now, trying to set up the schedule. They've got most of the guys who run this series are from North Carolina, South Carolina area. That's the major hub of where they're all from.
Okay.
So they get those dates set first. We're doing a race in Mooresville, North Carolina, Piedmont Dragway, which is in North Carolina, and I know that we're going to probably do the North Myrtle Beach race again. And then
It's a pretty area.
It is a beautiful area and a good little track.
Yep.
So
All right, we're gonna go out and pay a few bills, and we'll be back here shortly. Drag Race Central, Superstation 101. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. I am your host, Randall Shue, and hey, here comes Landon back in with a cup of coffee, another cup of coffee. He's gonna turn in. We got Todd and Greg here with us here this morning, back with our gassers. Something else we need to bring up. We've got the Street Fighters will be at Laster Mountain on the 7th. That's the race from the wrong end of the track.
Well, this is because Dig Street's going to be at Steel on the 8th.
Oh, yeah?
That's right. So they'll have a full day weekend of racing backwards.
All right. We're racing backwards. I guess if you won, I guess when you get through, you lost. I don't know. And then the second, we've got one up at a no-prep race at Bayleton.
That's right.
That's the next weekend. And, of course, the next weekend would be the two we were talking about. That's whatever it is. But let me tell you, there was 200 or 300 people there. Everybody having fun, and it was just like I told somebody. I said, "Boy, if somebody had light a fire in a barrel, we'd think we was at Oxmoor. Look down, there was a fire in a barrel down there."
So are you saying they start from the opposite end of the track?
At the second turnoff at Laster Mountain, that's the starting line.
Where all the loose concrete is, and where there's no parking.
That's it.
And it's dark. Yeah, that is.
It's real dark. And
then you race towards the light.
I know. You have to think about that just a minute. But it's just like, and I ain't kidding. I was just like I was hanging out at old Oxmoor at the street races.
Do they even blow the grapple off?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's done. And everybody has their own VHT to put down. By the middle of the night, it is a prepped dragway.
Wow, I bet. Yeah.
Because there's more VHT being put down than the track puts down. Everybody's got them a gallon, and of course, as a kid, I rigged up a sprayer up above my wheels where nobody knew I was putting VHT down. And you could turn your pump on. Of course, you had to clean it regular. That stuff would stop up.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'd take a brass tee and drill holes, and you spray it, and it'd run across the tires, and you do a little dry hop. Hey, buddy, you're ready to go. Them old junk tires we had. Greg, you remember that?
Oh, I do.
Oh.
I do. You're talking about no prep at Bayleton. That track would hook 30 years ago when nothing would. I mean, I've seen more rear ends stood up at Bayleton than anywhere, I believe.
Hey, remember when they had the steel plate for one of the starting lines?
Yes.
I had heard about it. I got up there. This is going to be bad. It worked as good as the other side. It was a sheet of steel, probably 3/8, a half-inch thick.
Yeah.
12 feet wide and 30 or 40 feet long, whatever it was. You couldn't tell the difference.
But Bayleton's a unique track. It's one of my favorite places to go. I like the track. I like all the people.
The
I like
Walker
the
family's
atmosphere.
done an outstanding job up there.
And Rusty's running that thing now. He's a super good guy, and he's trying really hard.
That's the grandson.
Right. They spend a bunch of money up there too. That's a really nice surface now.
Yeah, Rusty. I saw he got through the races and he left out in his race car. Went next door and he had the garage door opener in his race car. I saw the door came up, went in the house, put the door down.
Another unique thing about that track is about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, the stench of the chicken houses will come rolling in because there's a lot of chicken houses real close to that.
Hey, no, wait a minute. let me tell you what it really is. It used to be there was a outhouse for the restroom in the pits, and what ran, it wasn't a hole, it was like a creek.
A trough.
It was water coming out of the chicken house. You talking about a religious experience, walking into the, you really, really had to go when you went in there. And I guess they've done away with that, the killing chickens. I don't know. It was terrible. But hey, neat thing about going to Bayleton, you go up to the concession stand, 2 hamburgers, fries, and a Coke. Oh, that's $5. Really?
Yeah.
And
they were good burgers too.
Very good,
Yeah.
good quality. We was up here one night and they had jet cars. Well, remember behind the burnout area, there's a you think he was at a Baptist church because these people sit in their spot and they're not going to move. And I don't care if there's 10 visitors come, you'll have to climb over me. I'm not moving because this is my spot. So anyway, they told you're going to need to move. Oh no, we're going to be sitting here. They said, you probably going to need to move. We ain't moving. This is our spot. That's typical. Well, they fired that jet car up, and they finally got them to move. After the jet car run, all the grass was gone and the bleachers were on fire. They had to go over. You didn't have to tell them a second time.
No, my mama and papa was ready to get up at that point.
Yep, that little flowery sack dress wouldn't have survived it.
Now, you talk about Bayless, and I can remember the 4th of July race one time we were up there, and doggone, the sun was coming up during the final round.
Oh, I won up there one night. It's 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw not too long ago a picture on the internet from I-22 up there with Greg Burgess and those guys. I saw the sun coming up when somebody was in the winner's circle.
Yep.
So it's still going on. I mean, you get a delay or two and the whole night is gone.
That's the night that I announced up there.
Wow.
A rain cloud came through, and it rained maybe 30 minutes, but it's a pretty good one. They cleaned up, and another one hit. They cleaned up, and there were so many people there, they had to get it. First round was like 11:30. Pro mods were there.
That's decent dedication. I mean, most people, if it starts raining, they put rain tires on. We'll just wait.
Hey,
we'll wait it out.
That's what we've talked about before. We'll go up to Barbers, and it rains. The guys on motorcycles, and I did say motorcycles, run in the rain. And we got roll cages, and if it missed, a heavy mist, we'll leave.
A heavy enough fog will just destroy the track.
Well, I'm starting to get a little worried though that with all these grids and power masters and all these programmers and
traction controls
that it's going to that, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that.
The safety
like
stuff on it.
Yeah.
Where it'll shut the.
Sure.
Car runs 520s in 5.4 seconds. It turns the throttle off if it's not off. I'm good with that.
Right.
It'll pop the chute for you, and there's some things like that. That's what about if you hit the wall and it knocks you, and it'll rattle you too. I want my chute to come out. That way, if things go bad, we want to be safe because we want to live and do this again. Because it's supposed to be fun. It's all it's supposed to be.
But that is one thing I do like about this style of racing we're doing, the gasser racing, is it puts the driver back in the car.
Oh yeah.
And that's really a unique thing now. I mean, I know that the Pro Mod and all that stuff is super hard to drive. I mean, I went to Montgomery a week or two ago to watch Pro Mod qualifying and to make a pass or two with our old car. And a young racing car went 379 at 202 mile per hour. And I like to have passed out. That's what I was saying. It was the fastest run I had ever witnessed in person.
Uh-huh.
And it happens so fast that you don't even have time to think. If those guys get out of the groove, I mean, you could lose your life so fast, and that's amazing.
And he was probably number 7 qualifier.
No, I bet he's number 1.
Yeah, that night he was number 1. We didn't get to go back the next day because we had an engagement we had to go to. But
one of the things you've seen watch some of the videos, these things wreck. They're under so much power. If you lift, there's so much inertia. The car will wreck on you, even though you're off the throttle and on the binders pretty hard.
Yeah, maybe, Randall, you remember this. It's been years ago. We went down to Dale County drag strip, and I believe you were actually there running your car, and they had a wreck the night before or something at the track, and they'd torn up some of the guardrail, but they had shortened that race down to a 300-foot race. And it was, you were getting the same kind of times that these Pro Mod cars are doing now on the full-length track.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we used to go up to Winston County, and it was 60 feet shorter. Hey, I had some good ETs up there. I wouldn't tell anybody that the track was shorter. Hey, at Green Valley one night, or one Sunday afternoon, took off. Something happened to the clocks. I went like 728, 184 miles an hour. And so they said 184. I said, it's got to be. I couldn't lie. This thing, I kept that thing until the ink went away.
It's still.
funny.
I think it's still in the case. Actually,
It might be. We got a
don't think you ever
trophy
took it
case
out.
downstairs. 941-1011. Let's see who is out here and talking to us. Good morning.
Morning.
What can we do for you?
Well, this is Tex. I'm calling to ask a few questions for my buddies in there you got.
They're here waiting on you.
Watch out now.
Well, I would have called a little earlier, but somehow or another I got the number wrong and was calling some girl named Holly.
Uh-oh. Watch
Hey,
out now.
Hey,
I bet Holly loves you.
There you
at
go.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
hey, we
yeah,
got 2 or
yeah,
3 minutes, so make it quick.
Okay, man. I was just curious, 2 questions about the length of the track. Does the Southeasterns just run a certain length track? And are you allowed to narrow the rear ends in your cars?
All right. Yeah, we're all 1/8 a mile. That's all we run, and you can do a small narrowing, but it really doesn't help because we're bound to a 10.5-inch slick maximum. So it really doesn't help to narrow the rear end. Actually, it probably hurts it. In all honesty.
Well, Tex,
Okay,
hey, we look here. I can hold you over. You can give us a call back. We've got music in the background. We've got to take a hard break at the top of the hour. But you hear the music in the background. If you want to call us back, we'd love to have you and continue this conversation.
You might want to do that because you're one of the most colorful characters in the world.
Welcome back in to the second hour here on DragRace Central, Superstation 101. Hey, that last part of that last segment kind of ended abruptly, didn't it?
Yeah.
Top of the hour is top of the hour. We don't have a lot of choices on that. Remember, 941-1011 is our number. Let us talk about what you got this.
Well, somebody helped bring us here was the home place. You know, they got 2 locations serving our area.
Piston Valley Parkway and Warrior.
Right there on 31. That's right.
Now, you know, I was past the one in Warrior last night, and it looked like a bunch of homes have moved.
Hey, man.
That's right. Maybe they, I'm sure some have come and gone. But there were several spots out in the front that was
Vacancy.
vacancy. That's right.
That's right. Hey, but there in Pinson, you can Pinson Valley Parkway, you can give them a call at 205-681-6226, and then at Warrior, it's 205-543-6556. Hey, you know, we got some upcoming races still this year, and we have Lasher Mountain. Wholesale Transmission brings us Lasher Mountain, and you know there's some great guys down there. Brandon's a little weird. He does weird things.
Pontiac motor and a Fox body.
It's just sick, but
I'm not even sure what you call that.
That's definitely weird.
yeah.
Hey, great guy. You know, we had a guy call us last week and wanted to upgrade his Camaro. We told him to get him a converter to put in it, and you know, converter is the magic bullet if there ever was a magic bullet.
That makes more difference than anything.
Oh, as much as nitrous oxide.
Yeah,
My
Well,
I
goodness.
agree.
That is
There's
amazing.
You know what I'm a big fan of also is turbos.
Yep.
You put a big enough turbo, it'll do anything.
Well, it's like nitromethane.
Yeah.
Nitro will make something run if it'll hold together. We're lucky to have Todd and Greg here with us here today with Southeastern Gassers. One of the guys called in, and we had to cut him. Actually, we didn't cut him short. The music cut him short.
His time wasn't on his side.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that was a world famous Tex DeVille. He's a local musician in the Birmingham area also, and he fellow traditional hot rodder, rat rodder. Gone to the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Y'all was telling the story about that when we was off the air. Tell it again, Greg.
Tex, he's a good guy. I mean, we really like him. We've hung out with him for years now, and he decided he wanted to go to the Bonneville Salt Flats one year, so he got him a nice little old school canned ham camper trailer and hooked it up to his 29 Chevrolet truck. I believe it's 29, and he actually sought out and got sponsorship, put decals on his camper, and made the journey out to the Salt Flats. I believe he was gone for like a month along the way, had a couple of mechanical issues, and worked his way through it, though. But I tell you, it was a good story. It
That
really
reminds
was.
me of The World's Fastest Indian.
Right.
Greatest car guy movie ever. That's The World's Fastest Indian. That was good. He got to come over here from Australia or knew where he was, New Zealand. But that's good. Here, 941-1011 is our number here to You know, I was talking to Larry Martin yesterday, and next year in bracket racing, you know, there's 21 events that pay $50,000 to $100,000 each.
That's money. That's big money.
21 of them.
Wow.
And you wonder, it's going to get so much that does the wheels fall off that? You know, you're guaranteed $100,000. If that thing doesn't go good, you got to stroke 40 or 50 out of your own pocket. That'll take the fun out of it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those round track dirt car guys, they, started out small scale and everything. Now you look at some of those setups. I mean, the big rigs, not just a toter home, but I mean, big time. We went to Bristol the first time they put dirt on the Bristol Speedway, and I'm telling you, there was people from all over the world coming to that thing, and it was something.
Hey, that Bruton Smith is a promoter, isn't he?
Oh Lord.
Well, I like to say though that he is a car man, so that makes him such a good reporter.
Well, hey, who else would have put in several hundred dump truck loads of dirt in the infield and had a Tennessee football game there?
Absolutely.
150,000 people showed up football game. And then put it all out and did something else.
Yeah,
Put dirt on the
man knows how to make money. There's
He does.
question. No question about that.
He actually, he owns an outfit called the Sonic Corporation.
Right.
That's what his real job is. He's pretty good at cars.
Absolutely. I don't know how many dealerships they actually own, run, and maintain, but it's a humongous number.
Hey, it's working for him, whatever it is.
Absolutely. You were talking about people coming from all over the world. At the races this year, the Southeast Gasser races, I talked to some people from Australia, people from Canada, people from New Zealand. It's just amazing at all the different countries, Mexico, for people who come to watch this old gasser racing. It seems like just such a simple thing, but I think simple works.
Yes, it does. And I think some of the with the high dollar bracket racing, $100,000. Hey, it's awesome, but like to win the $1 million race, it's not very fan friendly.
Right. Yeah. The common person who watches it really doesn't understand it. Now, once you get where you understand it, bracket racing is fun to watch, and bracket racing is really fun to do.
It's like golf. Golf is fun to do, but watching, not so much.
And we have a bracket car that we run also. We do some 6.0 heads up with and do bracket racing with, and hopefully this coming year we'll fill in between the Southeast Gasser events with that car to do some bracket racing and possibly some other nostalgia organizations that we can run with it that will allow an automatic car.
Well, I noticed you swap motors and that thing, put an 18-degree motor. How much did it pick up over the 23-degree?
It was a pretty mild 23-degree, and this 18-degree motor, of course, it's another Wendell Vincent engine, but it picked up. The car went from picked up 0.8 of a second.
Usually about 30 horsepower per tenth is about what. That's about what it. If you just did the math, that's about what it'll do.
That should be about correct. The car's wicked fast now.
It's another extra 250 horsepower to get your attention.
Absolutely, especially in a 100-inch wheelbase car that's pretty narrow on top of that and tall.
And didn't you do a pirouette in that thing?
Yeah,
first position.
I did a pretty nice little 3-turn spin at 103, going backwards through the light at I-22. I think I scared Greg Burgess to death up there, but actually didn't hit the wall, didn't do anything, knocked one tire off, just slid one of the front tires off the rim. No, I was real lucky. It everything come through good, and it was a learning experience. I got a little bit out of the groove, and when you get out of the groove, you have to let out of the car, and I tried to drive it on through thinking that I could, and I learned my lesson.
Oops. Let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Again.
Hey, Tex, I'm glad you called back. I apologize. When that music starts at the top of the hour, we have no choice.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, hey, give us something good.
Oh man, I just want to say something about Greg and Todd. They gave me a little accolade there, I guess you'd say. These guys, a couple great guys, and I met them through the rat rod scene, and they, we worked together and everything to help each other and finding parts locate. But I'm so happy. I tell Todd all the time that I'm so happy that he's doing this and his success, because I really think this is something that needs to be brought back. A lot of historical value in it, and it's just a kind of exciting thing to see. They mentioned something about like the land speed racing stuff that I'm into, and I'm actually building a car towards that now. And I think it's very important that the younger people also, I've heard earlier you was talking about the education part of it, that they need to know about the history of all this thing and how it all ties together. There's just not a bunch of guys out there just throwing junk on the road. There's people really out there doing something that's, to me, is very important. I guess because I like old stuff.
Well, we talked here on the show before. Todd has done it and named his cars. That is something the last few years nobody has named their cars, and I think it's so important. In our area, I grew up in the Gardendale, Mount Olive area, and we had Ancient Age, Wee Willie. There's several cars, Gone with the Wind, and there's several cars out there that, I still remember those from when I was a kid.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We don't need to let that go away.
You were talking about that the kids need to know this and everything, and I teach school now, and about one day every 2 weeks I'll take a break in class, and we'll put on YouTube or something like that, and I'll play videos of old drag racing, modern drag racing that's old school. We'll put on some of the car show stuff, anything like that to bring that awareness back to these kids that don't know. It's like a few weeks ago at school, I had Bobby and Donnie Allison at the shop, and the news people were there and everything, and they were talking with some of the students, and the lady asked me, she said, "Do you think they know who these guys are?" And I said, no, they probably don't, but what they'll do is they'll Google it, and they will figure out that Bobby Allison is the Dale Jr. of 30 years ago.
Yes, he was.
And that's these kids don't know that, and it's our responsibility to bring it back to them, just like with this gasser racing and the nostalgia drag racing and the old school front engine dragsters. I mean, you just don't see that anymore, and it's history that's brought back to life.
We're going to give them some hands-on experience. Hopefully, this coming week, we're going to load the car, take it down there, and let all of Greg's students get a hands-on experience. And if we might even try to slide a good little water burnout in there and get them a little excited.
That's fun stuff. Hey, and hopefully makes them enthusiasts.
Oh, absolutely.
Enthusiasts is that's what you fool with houses. There are no house enthusiasts. Car guys. You work on cars all day, go home and play with your race car at night.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, you love it. It's what you do. I mean,
sure.
it's total dedication, and it's not even something that people make you do. You do it because you love it.
Well, who else would work 20 hours a day on? You work 12 hours during the day and you go home and work till 3 o'clock in the morning on your race car.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go to bed because I got to be at work at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
again.
Like last night I got home and my wife says, "Lord, you must be tired. You were working 12 hours today." And I said, "Yeah, I had a ball. I had a good time."
Well, Tex, we appreciate it. I hear some more music. We appreciate you calling, and keep listening to us.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. We're going to go out and take our quarter-hour break. We got some great information for you coming up. The dealer report will be coming here on Drag Race Central, Superstation 101.
Welcome back in, Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Landon Shue.
Hey, I was looking right here. There was 3 old guys in here doing the overly Caucasian dance. There was some real music right there, wasn't it, guys?
That's good stuff.
The overly Caucasian dance is bad.
You throw a little white snake in there, I can get down.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good. We got some... hey, we wanted to mention one thing. We got our Facebook page.
Yes.
We've got that, and we've got our replay. Our replay does on Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. now. We come on pretty early in the morning, but our replay was from 5 to 7 on Sunday. I said, this is even worse than our hours. Anyway, it's 6 to 8 Sunday evening here on 101.1 is our replay. So we'll get to listen to us again. We got some interesting information. When Deidre calls in a few minutes, I know what Deidre's going to say. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to mention a couple of our sponsors, Shoe Towing and Recovery. They help bring us this interesting show.
Very interesting. Our buddy Tim out there. All your automotive broke-down needs.
Broke down, and they'll give you a tow. They can do roadside assistance.
Well, you know what? Something else. You've got You got New Year's open coming up. If you end up with too much adult beverage, call you. They'll take you home. It's a lot cheaper than having a popo take you home.
So it's better than calling a cab because they also bring my car.
Bring the
home
car
with me.
too.
You know that tow truck driver's going, oh no, not another drunk.
Well, hey, that's even a better deal. You can't see how much he's tipping.
He'll say, I love you, man. Oh no.
No, it's not prison rules.
Oh, I guess you're right.
But give him a call down at 205-631-0910.
Hey, you know what? We didn't give the number to the transmission shop a while ago. Wholesale transmission 2510466. We forgot to do that. We got to talk about our buddy Brandon in his Pontiac powered Mustang. Hey, it'll run. Oh, it's a serious piece. Still Pontiac.
It's just sick. No.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. Hey, we also have Shaw Building Supplies. They're located there in, you say, the booming metropolis.
Booming metropolis. North of Gardendale, because Gardendale is a suburb of Mount Olive. We know that. They've been trying to.
So it's not a metropolis; it's a suburb.
Suburb, yeah, it's a burb. That's right. It's a bedroom community. Really, is what it is.
That Gardendale area it's amazing at how much it's grown.
It really has.
And
you know, Gardendale's landlocked. They're actually out of land. They've actually gone up to the Dewey Barber location on that. That is actually Gardendale now.
wow.
So they're on the backside. You know, you got all the Belcher Lumber Company property. There's about 6,000 acres of it, but there's nothing but hills and valleys. There's no flat area for 6,000 acres.
I've spent more time in Gardendale this past 6 or 8 months building this race car than I've ever had in my whole entire life. Going back and forth over there to Gardendale Performance to see Jimmy Weston.
You know what? I'm gonna put this out. And I hope your wife ain't listening. You were number one customer. You were the customer of the day yesterday.
Set of scales kind of put me over the top.
It was definitely elbow room only in there yesterday.
Wasn't it amazing how many people were there?
It was packed. It was
their Black Friday sale.
Yeah, everybody was spending money too. It was usually you go in there, there's just a lot of bench racing going on, but it was a lot of people in there spending money. It's good to see. It's good to see racing still alive and people thriving and spending and getting excited about next year. You know, I'm already crazy about next year. That's all I can think about.
Well, you know, I hang out so much in there. I had to buy back 2 or 3 times. And thank goodness I got buybacks in bench racing. All right, we got another caller. Let's go out to it. Hello. Hey, what can we do for you?
I just want to tell you I enjoy your show. I know you don't get a lot of callers until then on one, but I just want to tell you how I appreciate y'all being on there.
Hey, we appreciate you listening.
I'm not a racer. I build hot rods for cruising and stuff. So
it's all we're all car guys.
That's how it all begins, though. You got to be careful. You go to a cruise in or two, and you mash that pedal down. It gets a little faster, and then you build a little hotter engine. It gets a little faster, and then before long, you find yourself on the 8th mile.
That's your hair's on fire and you're broke.
I built a Jensen Interceptor that nothing at the other cruise-ins could touch. So
I'm familiar with them. This is not Robert, is it?
Yeah, this is Robert.
Hey, Robert. Hey, how you doing, man?
Who is this?
This is Randall. Randall Shue.
Oh, hey, Randall.
Hey,
I didn't know that was you on there.
Hey, you know, this is old home week, bud. Can't nobody sneak up on me.
That's funny. He knows everyone.
Hey, Robert.
Hey.
I appreciate the Jensen Interceptor. You know, that thing was a 440 Chrysler, and it was a pretty neat deal. What have you got now?
Yeah.
Have you still got it?
No, I'm building a 35 Auburn boat tail speedster. I'm on my way right now with my tow dolly. I'm gonna pick up a Jaguar XJS with the V12. That's what I'm gonna build the Auburn speedster with.
Okay. We just talked about Landon wants to put a V12 in his 240SX.
It's the same. Oh no, that's the Jaguar. That's the one you looked at. That Jaguar.
Oh, the Jaguar. Okay, he wants the BMW one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we'll just take it. We'll take whatever we get. He just wants a bunch of cylinders.
I can't afford that BMW one.
Oh, come on, Robert. Tell honey you need some extra money, and
You don't know I'm going to get this Jaguar right now.
She will when you're done.
That's right. Hey, honey, it was on sale. That's all you got to say.
It's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission anyway.
All right, Robert, we appreciate you calling.
All right, Randall.
See you, bud.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Hey, is that odd?
You talking about some sales? Jegs and Summit were both having sales still going on.
Black Friday sale.
That's right. Jegs is having 15% off this weekend. That's 15% to save you a lot.
Hey, have you ever been over the Summit store in Atlanta?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We went to a car show over there. We have some friends that have a band called the Psycho DeVilles, and they played a big car show there, and we drove over to it in a monsoon. So, and that was with a car that had no windows on the side either, old traditional hot rod. So,
You need some plastic and some duct tape. First of all, you need some duct tape. I got over there. It's like opening a Summit catalog. Everything on the catalog is on the shelf.
It's incredible.
Oh, it is.
It really is. I mean, right down to Christmas ornaments any
Yeah.
time of the year if you want hot rod Christmas ornaments.
Rick Pennington, you've been out to Rick's shop. They've got that. The guy, you mash a button and he's and he revs up and you shift the gears, and if you don't, he starts stuttering and he croaks. I got to have one of those. That's pretty neat.
You get him up on the box, he starts.
He stuttered.
that's really a neat place. We went by there yesterday. They were gone to lunch, but that's
At
really
11:30, they close the doors and go to lunch.
Yeah, that's a neat place, and they're neat people. I really like Rick. I've known them for a long time. Back when we first started drag racing, they were racing back then. So,
Oh yeah.
I looked at a picture. I was going through some pictures last night. I had an old straight shift Corvette from when I was in high school, loaded on a trailer with a 538 gear, running at Green Valley Dragway up in Gadsden, Alabama, and I'm pretty sure that they were there then. So,
Oh yeah. His brother. I believe it was his brother. Had Green Valley at one time. Roy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's his brother, cousin. There's about 25 Penningtons in our area, and Rick and Ricky both are going to be on with us in about 3 weeks.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, I talked to Rick yesterday. Well, Ricky, I've talked to both of them this week.
I think they also won some sort of world championship
sure did.
this past year, maybe in 2 categories. I'm not for sure. I know they
Got a Cobra, what's that thing? Cobra Jet Mustang and a Malibu with a 5-speed in it.
right.
One of them turned it to Z and RPM, sidestep the clutch.
Right. That's why I was so excited when he called me and said something about he'd like to build a Southeast Gasser car, is I know he's the right kind of guy. Actually, I should be worried if he's going to come race in my class. He might do a good tail whooping on us because he's got the ability to do
The
it.
cool thing is he'll have to. How about that?
Absolutely.
Just bring it on. We're happy to have you.
But a guy like that is a good asset to any
Yes, he
organization
is.
they
And hey,
race with.
Because his son Ricky has just done an outstanding job driving, and but Rick is still quite a driver in his own right.
Absolutely. They're like I say, they're just the right kind of people you want to race with, kind of people you're proud to go out and get them to be a part of.
And if you have a problem, they'll step right up and help you.
Right.
Look, I'm having this problem. And, I had a problem with a big motor, and they went over there and we found it, and this is just amazing. I had one that would miss. The cylinders would miss, but the miss would change cylinders. It took me months. Turned out rocker arm geometry was off, and every now and then when the rocker would open the valve, it would not close. And it might do it on number 7 cylinder this time. And number 7, you check everything, it was perfectly normal. It'd be number 6 cylinder, and put lash caps, fixed it. It goes up extra longer push rod to fix, but lash caps, hey, $100, I'm through.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that was exciting. Hey, we've got the Deidre report coming up here. Miss Deidre Tran will be calling here in a minute, right at the 7:30 hour. Guys, this ought to be a hoot because I got something for her today.
That's it's always interesting when she calls in to hear about all the car shows, events, cruise-ins, and she always
keeps up with it. So this is going to be I've got a real announcement for her. She poor gal, she ain't going to survive this one. But anyway, that's going to be funny. I hear music in the background. All right, Deidre, give us a call. and this is some more overly Caucasian dancing music. Y'all know that.
Guarantee some Robert Palmer.
That's it. All right, we'll be back shortly here at Superstation 101 Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. I am your host, Randall Shute.
And I am your other host, Lynn Shute.
That's right. We got Greg and Todd here this morning. Boy, this has been a lot of fun.
It's nice and early for them.
Hey, it's 7:34 in the morning. It's sunshiny, and guess who's on?
Right before she comes on, I was going to mention Perfect Reflections Body Shop, located on Black Creek Road there in Fultondale.
How about a phone number out there? 841
841-1034.
1034. All right, let's go out. I wonder who this is.
Good morning, guys.
It's Miss Deidre, the Deidre Report.
The Deidre Report's in the house. Good morning, Randall. Good morning, Landon.
Hey, you know, I want everybody to know Deidre is going to be in the house with us, with me, next Saturday.
That's right.
Next Saturday, yeah. We'll have to talk about some good stuff.
Yeah, Landon's got midterms coming up, so he's going to be off. Better him than me.
Yes, I don't envy him at all.
I was in the top third of the slow class in school, so I never had midterms.
Deidre, you better bring your own coffee pods when you come. You're going to need them.
Oh, goodness. Well, I just want to tell Greg and Todd good morning. And before we get started, I just wanted to give y'all a shout-out, especially to Randall and Greg, about the education thing, because I want to give you a little success story here about shop class. Whenever we tell people Justin took shop class, we always have somebody roll their eyes at us. But Justin's been in honors classes for years, and when he started high school, he wanted to take shop class. So they told him that he couldn't take his honors classes and take shop class too. So we talked to the counselor and ended up he could get in with Mr. Gibbs up at Gardendale. Y'all know Mr. Gibbs, don't you?
Yeah, I'm actually on the board there.
Yeah. And so he started his shop classes, taking his honor classes. Well, he graduates this year, and he's been accepted full ride scholarships at Auburn, Alabama, and UAB.
That is great.
And engineering. And so he went to the Alabama honors reception the other day, and Mercedes approached him for a co-op program.
That's awesome.
Along with his full ride. And, and it has to do with, him and his choices that he made and his honors classes and his shop classes. And he's been working for Classic Car Motoring for a while, too. So the guys up there, they built a car for SEMA, so he's under the influence of those guys, too. Yeah. But if it wasn't for shop class and things like that, he might not have went into engineering. So I have to give hats off to you guys, because look at the success story. We wouldn't have a full ride scholarship for Justin to go to school on if it wasn't for people like you.
I'm glad he's a big fan of math. It's not it's not as much fun as it sounds like getting an engineering degree.
Well, that's what Landon's in.
So yeah,
that's what I'm going for.
Yep, he wants to be a mechanical engineer.
Well, I want to have the degree in it. I want to be rich, but that's a different story.
Oh, that's two different deals.
We all do.
It's hard work. I never realized, like Landon said, the math is unreal.
He came in with a new term, and I thought, what?
Oh yeah, imaginary numbers. Yeah, they're numbers that aren't real, but you can still write them down.
Yeah, that's like my checkbook. How about that? Imaginary numbers. What do y'all mean I'm out of money? I still got checks. Hey, Deidre, look, before we get started on your car show stuff, I'm going to tell you something that's going to disturb you greatly.
It's going to disturb me? Okay.
Well, next week I'm debuting a new Christmas carol. I have written a Christmas carol.
Okay.
Not only
no, hang on. I'm going to stop you there. It's not a carol. No one's going to sing along with this.
Somebody might want to drink some beer along with it. But not only did I write it, I'm going to be performing this. I'm a poor writer, and I'm even a worse singer.
God bless you, Deidre.
And I can see Deidre right now. Oh, Lord.
Live performance coming from...
It's a little irreverent.
Homewood.
She'll be reaching for the cough button.
No, there's nothing questionable in it, but you'll thought, oh my gosh. All right, Deidre, tell us about some car show stuff. We got some more people on the line.
All right. Well, we got our regular cruising at Cars and Coffee, Hoover Tactical. It's 8:30 to 10:30. Like I said, it's year round. Take your chances on that. Sunday. We got Ford versus Dodge Cruise In for a cause. It's brought to you by Bring a Kid to a Car Show. That's going to be up at Jasper Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Jasper Ford.
Wow.
1 to 5, bring one open toy. And I have to say, if the car show community, I try to keep a peace and try to promote the car shows and stuff, because it's like I told one guy, it's like motorcycle gangs. They will catch you at the knees. These car clubs. I'll have to explain that next week, but they'll catch you at the knees. So Ford and Dodge are the biggest headbetters. So if you can come out this Sunday from 1 to 5, that's going to be a good showing, because them Dodge people, they don't like Fords at all.
Well, you know why? You know why, don't you? Because Dodge is a verb. You look Dodge up, and it says to avoid in the dictionary.
Dodge, the Dodge guys came from Ford, so I don't see what the problem is.
I know it. It's all the same.
Blame the French.
Also, Sunday is Fall Fly Sunday, and it's at Tom Bradford Park. And to rewind 25, 30 years ago, drag racing weekends, I don't know, or street racing weekends, rather. I don't know, did you ever go to Bradford Park on Sunday afternoons to do a little street racing?
I've been there.
That's at Green Springs?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I've seen this online, so I'm not really sure what it is, but it starts at 2 o'clock, and it's free. That's all I know, and that's all I'm going to say. But, 30 years ago, I know what I was doing on Sunday afternoon at Bradford Park, so,
Hey,
bring what you got.
you be careful what you say over there.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying. But that's all we got going on. Now, next week, I want to go ahead and get this out there. We've got the first Friday in Gadsden. And, Todd, I invite you to go out to that. Carry your car on a trailer, because you'll see cars there that you never see before, and it's hundreds of cars. And usually
they shut down downtown.
Yeah, I'm from there, so I'm real familiar with Broad Street and the Gadsden area.
Yeah, and I know during the summer you race a lot, but now that you're off, bring your car down there, because that'd be a perfect time for the kids to see your car, and people to enjoy it. And like Randall said, it doesn't matter what you have. If you have a race car and you're not racing, bring it to the cruise-in. I mean, because we're all car people. We love all cars. It doesn't matter if it's a restored 57 Chevy or if it's a real gasser that's out there racing every weekend. We enjoy seeing it, and we enjoy you and what you do, and we appreciate it if you could bring it out there and show people what you do. Because not everybody can make it out to the drag strip every weekend.
Right.
All right, well, Deidre, we're going to get off here. Got a bunch of callers. How about that?
Okay. Well,
and I will see you next week. And listen, you might wear some earmuffs and hear my song.
I will, definitely.
All right. Sure. See you later.
Thank you, Deidre.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go out to good morning.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. What can we do for you?
I just want to give a shout-out to all you guys. It's the first time I listened to the show, and it's a good show, man. I got up early to check it out because Todd Odden's on there, and give him a big shout-out. And
awesome.
He's a good guy, and bless his heart.
Hey, who is this, Dale?
It's Dale, yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
I am doing fantastic. You are on with a famous driver right here. This is
Skull
Dale,
Garage.
Straight from Skull Garage. If you've ever
if
you've ever looked at YouTube, just type in Skull Garage. He's got a ton of videos and got a beautiful race car. He's got the Bad Penny 57 Chevrolet.
Wow.
Yep.
It is
and Calamity Jane.
And the Calamity Jane.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Name the cars. This is awesome.
It is, and this guy right here is an ambassador for the sport. He is as real as it gets. That's what we say, as real as it gets. And these guys, they build their own cars. They do all their own work. He is all over the internet. Just the right kind of guy you want to hang with, and right kind of people you want to race with.
Absolutely.
Hey, how's his barbecue?
I don't know about his barbecue.
That. That's awesome. That's awesome. Without guys like you running with the Southeast Gashers, man, it's what makes it all just like big old family, dude. Everybody gets along. Everybody's cool people, and it's awesome.
Well, I guarantee you, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and your whole family, and what you do for the sport. It makes it all that much better.
Well, Dale, where are you located?
I'm up in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
We're taking this show worldwide today.
I must be talking really loud.
I just call it Skull Garage, and we just work out in the dirt. We ain't even got a garage. We use a tent.
Shade tree. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we got a shade tree. We'll be out there in the water. There's videos of us out there in 2 or 3 inches of water. Hurricane. It makes no difference. 8 inches of snow. I'll be on my gasher in 8 inches of snow. It makes no difference. We march right on.
That's hardcore.
Did you build a fire and stay by the fire?
Yeah, we do. We put some fire in a barrel and stay as warm as it can. Yeah, actually, we'll put a space heater outside and boil down the cars, and just, you can get where you can feel your fingers and just keep on working.
Randall, he's not lying. If you go to YouTube and watch Under Skull Garage and watch all their builds, it's entertaining, and it's true. It's real life. It's what this gasser stuff's all about.
You know what that's really about? Yeah, the manicured shops that that look like surgery rooms. That's not real.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason I built mine the way it is. I really ain't got nothing to do anything with. And then my son, he got out there and learned. And my other son, he does it too. He's got a little S10, but we all get out there and work. And I taught him how to do it the old school ways, where you didn't have nothing. You just had to make what you had. It ain't about what you got; it's what you do with what you got. So you just get out there and make it work and keep trying. That's why we're not the fastest, but we just try our best. We should, everybody says we should quit, but we ain't gonna quit for nothing. We just gonna keep right on going. Show up. And it ain't about winning; it's just about doing it.
The people that say you're gonna quit, they're the ones that don't even have a car.
Yeah. They'll say that, and they'll be saying the same thing for years. I'm going to do this, and I should have done that, and I had this, but they will not do it, and they'll wind up dying and don't even ever get to enjoy life.
They are wannabes. They're not bees. We're all bees in here.
One of the best pictures I've got is your car running my car, the '57 to '58 Chevrolet, coming from Knoxville off the line. That picture is as period correct and true as it can possibly be.
Wheels up,
and hammer down.
There was no better day. And I seen that car roll up beside me. I was like, I get to race that bed right there. It was an honor. It was short honor.
Well, Dale, I really appreciate you calling. It means a lot to me, and it's great for us to keep supporting the Southeast Gassers and keep getting the word out there, because we're gonna try to make all events next year, and I hope to see you there, as many of them as you can get to.
Well, Dale, we appreciate you calling.
Yes, sir. I thank you guys. Y'all take care.
Thank you, Dale.
Sir. All right, we're going to go out and take our last break of the day. We got one more on the line.
Hold on, Ernie. We're going to get you.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be right back here on Superstation 101, Drag Race Central. Welcome back into the last segment here on Drag Race Central. Landon, who brought us here this morning here at 7:49 in the morning? I see sunshine.
Hey, you probably do. It's up in the day now. We got the home place, 2 locations serving all of your manufactured home needs.
Yeah. Out in Pinson Valley Parkway.
And in Warrior.
How about the 2 phone numbers? We're going to go to a caller.
681-6226 and 543-6556.
All right, let's go out. Hello. Hey. That didn't work out too good.
Well, looks like we lost that one. And we got to figure out how to cut it off.
Listen to that.
Technical support.
I am.
There we go.
Whoa. Hey, I can mash buttons with the best of them.
Hey, you can mash the buttons. It might not be the right ones, but you can mash them.
Yeah, but I'm good at it. I don't know if I mash the right ones. All right, what do you got over here, Todd?
Well, I think we had a caller on the line there. I think that was Ernie Smith with the One Gone Dog '56 Chevrolet. He's a C-gas car with the Southeast Gasser Association. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I hate we didn't get to talk to him, because he's an ambassador for the sport too, and I'd love for him to call back.
I think I see him calling back right now.
That would be great.
All right. Anyway, it's now where is he located?
I want to say he's either South or North Carolina.
Okay.
Also. Most of the guys that run out of this series, a lot of them are from the South Carolina area. We're trying to change that. We're getting some Alabama representatives and some Tennessee and more guys from Georgia in the sport, and too there's racers from Minnesota, Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma.
We can race in the wintertime here in Minnesota. They can't.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing this morning?
Who have we got here?
Great.
This is Ernie.
Hey,
Ernie, I'm glad you called back. I think it's great that you're calling in, because you're one of the reasons I started this gasser racing. You seeing your car at Montgomery and learning your story, and which I'd like for you to say a little bit about where you're from, and the One Gone Dog, and all you do for the sport. You are what gasser racing is all about.
Well, I really appreciate that, Todd. And let me say, I just want to congratulate you on winning the championship this year in your first year out. But, yeah, our story, we drive a car that was originally built in 1967. We've been able to trace the car all the way back to when it was built out in Seattle, Washington. It went from Seattle to Pennsylvania, back to California, back to North Carolina, where my car owner, Sonny, Sonny Clayton has it now, and Sonny had some health problems back a few years ago, had to have open heart surgery. His doctor told him, said, time for you to get out of it, and he called me up, and after years of working for Quayne Stahl on a Pro Mod car, they offered me the job driving it, and I've been in it for the last 2 seasons, and I tell you, I've been in stuff that's went a lot faster, but I've never been in anything that's been as much fun.
Well, your car is a pleasure to see it race out there, because I mean your wheels in the air, hammer down every pass, and just seeing that period correct, even the paint on that car, it's rubbed off in the right spots. I mean it's one of the most fascinating cars to see, and it's real. I mean it's really a neat thing, and the host here, Randall Shue, he's a big time drag racer, and he can appreciate a car like yours.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, that old car, it was built by somebody that was way ahead of his time in 1967. I mean, we've done virtually nothing to the car. We put our motor and transmission in it. We did redo the firewall. Other than that, I'm still out there beating on this thing with 50-year-old front shocks on it. It leaves with the wheels, 2 foot high in the air, and goes back up there in second gear, slams it back down, and it was built to race, and we race it.
Yeah, I love what you call yourself, or what they call you, the hired gun.
the hired gun, yeah. I kind of got tagged with that nickname. Somebody formerly with our organization a year or so ago made a comment that I've never outrun him with anything that I own myself, and I just kind of responded to him. I've been lucky enough in my career that people have trusted me to get in the seat of their stuff and go out and do well in it. So they just started calling me the hired gun, and that's kind of where it's went from there.
Well, it's, later years we call those helmet toters. Actually do
Yes,
real
sir.
well, because they don't know how many things there are to tear up. Yeah.
Well, I do all the maintenance and all the work on it, so
that's great.
I know what's there that we tear up.
Yeah.
Like I say, we tore up a bunch this past year, but it's the off season now. We're getting ready to go up to Davidson, North Carolina, to a show for Ray Abraham's Autism Foundation, but we're in the process of fixing everything we tore up last year, and we'll be out to do it again next season.
Well, you know what? That sounds great. We're running out of time.
Ernie, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Ernie.
you so much.
Hey, you guys have a great day, Todd. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Ernie. We'll see you soon too.
Thanks for what you do. All right, that's neat. The guys calling in. I appreciate him calling in.
It is, and I appreciate. It's my first year out, and like I say, we did win the world championship. But it's neat to have someone like Ernie just even acknowledge that I'm out there racing. I mean, it makes me feel great, because this guy is good. I mean, he's the real deal.
We each have goals in racing, and winning money. My biggest goal, I wanted to drive in somewhere and they say, "Oh my gosh, he's here."
Yeah,
that's all I was ever after. I don't know if that ever happened. Other than I'm fixing. We had one guy who used to come to the track. When he showed up, you better make all the passes you're going to, because he's fixing to leak something.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I didn't say his name, but the preacher boy, he would leak some. His wife, he let his wife get in his Camaro. She pulled that thing in low, took off. She never changed. I bet the motor's at 11,000. She never changed to high. Power glide had whatever gears. She went the entire 8th mile in low. It just quit accelerating, but nothing fell off of it.
Hey, Pro Mods do that.
Oh no,
They make a low speed pass.
Yeah, they sure do, and it's fast.
Yeah, but
Lord.
Yeah. So maybe that she thought it was the same idea.
Well,
Maybe
she just forgot to change gears.
No, she thought she'd make a low gear pass. Just make
She
sure.
sure did.
She didn't want to show you what kind of mile per hour really do.
She's checking the rods is what she's doing.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I went over and I've been looking at the new A-gas car you're building. You did a lot of the fabricating on that car, hadn't you?
I've done a ton of fabricating on
Did you
that
build
car.
the chassis?
I did. It's
I saw the welding. You know how to weld.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I saw that.
I appreciate that.
I can weld, but mine's ugly. Yours is pretty.
I do appreciate it. I enjoy doing that. You got drivers and builders, and I'm a builder. I would just as soon be the one doing the fab work. I really enjoy it.
Don't let him sell himself short. He's a driver too.
Hey, Rascal can weld. I'll say that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that thing was straight and square. I really first came over there. I saw the chassis on the jig. Now it's all the way up to y'all doing sheet metal and plumbing and wiring and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we were actually running brake lines yesterday, so all that's left is a little bit of wiring, and hopefully we're going to make some noise with it.
All you like is finishing up.
There you go.
So we're going to see if we can get that little 392-inch small block turn some RPMs.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yes, it does.
Well, we say, we turn them 8,000, but when you watch the NASCAR guys, they're up here, it comes off the corner at 7,200 and hits 94, 95 for 2 hours with a flat tappet camshaft.
That's incredible. It is.
Now, that's not junk. Them boys got some good pieces. Now,
They
NASCAR is whatever, and, they're afraid somebody get outrun, and I don't know. But the guys driving, they hold them rascals to the floor.
They do.
And
We were actually in the pits at Talladega one year, and Yates was over there by Dale Jarrett's car, and he, at the drag strip, you'll sit there and chop a throttle, rev it up, hit $7,000, and that's it. No, sir. He pulls it up to about 8,000 and just holds it there for it seemed like 30 seconds, just in a free rev.
I've always heard you trying to sling the problem out of it right there.
Hey, at the mountain, we run out of time. At the mountain one night, this guy went down the track 4 or 5 times, popped and cracked. They used to have a driver's meeting. They called everybody driver. This guy made his one last try. It popped and cracked, popped and cracked. He pulled around there, and everybody was come over here to the driver's meeting, and it got really quiet. He pulled his up on the trailer and held it to the floor, and a little bit of that thing blew up. He come over, he said, I bet that don't do it again. And it didn't. He needed a new one.
Yes.
Hey, but before we we got about another 2 minutes. I was going to mention one more time wholesale transmission. We got some good guys down there.
No. University Boulevard. I guess it's still University or Green Springs Highway. They're on 2510466. Of course, Brandon, if you got some transmission
That one
troubles.
exit I usually miss. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Every time I go down there, I'm just like, is this the right one? And I pass. I was like, yep, that was the one.
That's right. Then it's hard to get there.
And then you got to turn around.
And go. That's right. Go around the loop. Go by the street racing place on Fifth Avenue. I didn't say that.
No.
Guys, thank y'all so much for having us on
Hey,
today.
Greg,
This is so
Todd.
much fun.
Thank you.
It is. Hey, we'll be here next week, me and Miss Deidre. Landon's going to be off next week here on Drag Race Central, Superstation 101.